What is going on, guys? Sir Lewis here, the YouTuber that helps you invest to rest. And in today's video, which is also a podcast, okay, if you want to hear my videos or some of my podcasts, you can check it out in the description below. I have a channel for it, and it's also up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all that good stuff. So if you want to hear it, check it out. And without further ado, let's get on to today's video, which in my opinion is probably my most important one. It's probably going to be a little long. It's probably going to be a little long, so bear with me. But it's on how to start an investment plan and where to allocate your money, right? That's the question. Where should I allocate that monthly money that I invest in? And I'm going to go through it with you here, starting from the most important account to allocate your money to the least important one, right? So let's get started. Another thing is, I'm not a financial advisor, so do not think you have to do this exactly. This is what I personally do and what my opinion is, on what I do. And definitely reconsider what I say, do your own research, and you can do it differently. You don't have to do it exactly, and just know that I'm not a financial advisor. So let's get started. So the main thing here is you want to start an investment plan, and you want to know where should I put my money in monthly, right? The first thing is you gotta, this is different for everybody. You gotta have a certain amount that you're comfortable investing in monthly. For some people it could be $100. For some people it could be $500, which is for me. All right. Some people it could be $1,000, $2,000. So set aside a certain amount that you're comfortable investing in monthly. Okay. After that's done, okay, you have your amount, which can also change monthly. You get a raise or something, you make more, you could change that as you go, but definitely have that set aside every month. All right, so good, you have your amount to invest in monthly. Now the question is, what do I invest in? What accounts? Where do I put my money in monthly? And I'm gonna help you guys here, starting from the most important to the not most least, but the most aggressive account. Okay, so getting started, the first one is, it's not even an investment account, it's an emergency fund, which I think is very important to have. You don't want to, you want to have a balance. You don't want to save so much money because inflation is a thing, okay, but you don't want to invest all of your money. You want to have an emergency fund, which again is different for everybody. Could be $5,000 or $10,000. Obviously it's going to be more if you have a family and kids. You're going to want to have more set aside for emergency purposes. So like I said, make sure you have an emergency fund that you're comfortable having just in case something happens, right? So after you got that done, first account that we're going to talk about here, which is probably the most important one, is your retirement account. Okay, and to you might be thinking, okay, that's something that I'm probably gonna get in when I retire, and I'm not really thinking about that right now, but you should, okay, because it's very important. Some people get to that age where they can't work anymore and they don't have a retirement plan, they didn't develop one, and they don't have a lot of money. Now if you start putting in money towards your retirement from as early as possible, you will be in good shape, trust me, especially if you invest it in the right places. So your retirement account is like this. If you're working at a place that gives you a 401k, okay, awesome, you're already ahead of the game. Make sure you get that to align with your work and to take a certain amount from your check automatically, okay? And if they match like 3% or 5% of what you make, even better. That is just awesome. That's what I have. I have a matching of 5%, which basically means they take 5% of your whole check of what you made and they give you that money, which is basically free money. Who doesn't want free money towards your retirement? So let's say, all right, I'm putting in 10% of my check towards my retirement 401k, all right, and then they match up to 5%. So they give you that 5% is their own money that they're giving to you. So if your work offers that, awesome. Put up at least to the point where it's matching. So if it's 5% matching, at least put 5%. If you can't, put 10%, okay? Now, one big thing here is, do I do a Roth IRA, which I'm pretty sure you heard of, or the traditional one? The Roth one basically is they take out the taxes now, and when you retire and you get to the certain age, I don't know, I think it's 65 or 55, I'm not that sure on that, but once you get to that age, you can take out that money tax free. which is awesome. Okay, now the traditional one is the opposite. Basically, you don't pay any taxes, but when you take it out at that age, when you withdraw it, it's taxed as a whole based on what your tax bracket is at that time. So in my opinion, to save you guys some time, okay, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but personally the Roth IRA is most likely going to be the best, because the reason why is because most likely your pay is going to increase as you get older, so you're paying really low in taxes now, so might as well just put that in the Roth IRA, and all that capital gains in that account is going to be tax free, guys, literally. Now the only situation that I recommend to use the traditional is basically if you went to college, got out of college, and you already have a super high paying job, and that happens to some people, not everybody. You're making already 100K, you're paying at the top tax bracket, right? If you're in that situation, then probably traditional, because traditional, you're not paying any taxes now. So what you're putting in that account, you're not going to be paying that high tax right now. You're going to be paying the tax in the whole later. So most likely you'll be, getting paid less later in life, and then that'll be at a lower tax bracket. So you guys see what I'm saying? So basically you want to see what situation you're in. Most likely Roth is going to be the best, because Roth, you don't pay any tax. You're tax free. So that money that you see right there in the Roth, when you take it out, it's tax free. Okay, so alright, great, you got that down. Alright, the reason why I'm talking so much about this first account is because it's the most important one, because you want to have money when you retire. Okay, so you have that down. Alright, your work offers it, start doing it for work. But if your work doesn't offer, and even if it does offer, you want to start one on Vanguard, Fidelity, these big time brokers that have been over here for 30 years or so. You don't want to get one that's like 5 years new or something like that. You want to start with one like Fidelity, Vanguard, Merrill Edge, Charles Schwab. Okay, and you want to just sign up for a retirement plan, Roth. Okay, the reason why is because you can have both. You can have the one that you have for your broker and the one for your job, and then once you stop working there or retire, you can merge your work one to the one that you made, right? The one that you made with that broker. You could actually do that, which is awesome. And like I said, do this if your work doesn't offer 401k or a Roth, do it automatically for yourself. Okay, and put in, this is gonna be one that you want to put in a good amount. Okay, so let's say you're gonna invest $500 a month. So we're gonna call this one the retirement. Now, if you're hearing from the podcast, I'm gonna say it all out loud how much it's going into. So say you're investing $500 a month, you probably want to invest from that $500. The retirement one is the most important one. You want to invest a little bit more in that one. So let's just say $150, right? That's a good amount from that $500. Obviously, if you're investing more, you want to put more. And yeah, so that's the first account. Very important. You want to save for your retirement. That's the whole key here. Alright, so moving on to the second account. The second account, I'll probably put this account as something that you are working towards, an objective account. Okay, maybe you want to buy a house one day, right? I'm pretty sure you do. Maybe for a car, maybe for your kids, anything that you're working towards in life, an objective. Me personally, it's a house. So I'm pretty sure for you too, there will be a house or something like that, something big. A lot of people think, all right, saving up for a house, you want to save the money in cash. You want to not invest it basically. And I would probably say no. I'll probably say you're better off putting that in the market. The reason why is because most likely, based on what you invest in, it will go up without you even touching it, right? That's the power of the market. And the thing is, when you make this account, so let's make it right here, I'm going to call it house. Alright, the subjective account. You want to look at how long it'll take you to get that. Let's say, alright, I want to buy a house, but I don't see myself buying a house in 3 years at most, or 5 years. So the thing is, the longer it is that you think you'll do that or buy that, the more riskier, the more growth stocks that you would probably invest in. Okay, so basically companies out there that are just starting, that you do research. Obviously you want to do your research, okay, but are just starting and are at a good price and has potential to be higher, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, when you want to buy that house. Okay, the reason why is because if you just leave your money out there alone, it's not going to grow. It's going to be that same price until then. When you put in the stock market on a growth stock that has potential to grow, and you just give it time, even if it goes down a little bit, you do your research, it has potential to grow, right? So for example, a good one, Apple, which is a safe growth stock. Okay, say it's worth 120 today, you're not going to buy a house in 3 years, 5 years anyway. Just put in that Apple stock, and then Apple grows, which it usually does. Sure, it may go down here and there, but it grows, and boom, you just made more money without even touching it. So the second account is something that you want to work towards, that you want to accomplish in the future to come. So for example, a house, and this is something that you also want to put a lot into, but we're going to put in, out of the 500, we're going to put in 100. Okay, so, and for that, like I said, you want to put it based on your time. Let's say 5 years from now, you want to buy a house. You want to put in stocks that are really growth potential. Okay, stocks like, electrical vehicle companies that will probably grow in the next, years to come. Now let's say, all right, what if I'm buying a house a year from now, 2 years from now? You want to put in something safer, like an ETF, basically a collection of a bunch of stocks. Let's say you believe in electrical vehicles, awesome, but you don't know which company to put in, and you think it's too risky to put it in the company. Well, just gotta, just put your money in an electrical vehicle ETF like DRIV, DRIV. It's a ETF that has parts of each company, many companies. For example, 5% NEO, 5% Tesla, 2% of Google, which is a tech company. So that's how you go about that. Okay, the longer it is, the more risky. The less risky, like what I just said. So that's account number 2. Okay, that I would probably put in for most important. Now going to account number 3. Okay, and account number 3 is people that are actively, like I said, these accounts, you don't have to have all these accounts. If you're somebody that's really not that active in the stock market, but you know that investing is important, you can just have 3 accounts to put your money in, right? You don't have to have 5 accounts or more than that. But the next one is basically your trading account. Okay, and this is one that I personally have, and it's one that you basically, how can I say it? You basically do your research. You basically get experience trading stocks actively. Okay, and you can even do options, risk management based options, covered calls, verticals. I made a video on that, you guys can go check it. But this is one that you're gonna be playing with it, okay? And you're gonna be learning the stock market, seeing how when you buy a stock and your emotion plays with it. So you want to trade on stocks that you're interested in. You do your research. All right, you're interested in this growth stock, awesome, and you put your money in there and you see how it does, and you could trade it later. You can maybe swing, you can maybe day trade. So this is that type of account, and we're probably gonna put in here based on how active you want to be in it. Obviously you want to put less if you're less active, but if you're really active like I am, I'm probably gonna put in 100. So at the moment we got 350. Awesome, 350. All right, so next one that we got here, okay, I know it's a lot of accounts, but all these accounts, I want you to think about them and see if you want to have them. Okay, think about having them. You don't have to have all of them, but these are all ones that in my opinion are very important. But the next one here is dividends. Dividends. Why do I think this one is important? Now, like I said, for people out there that want to have less, you can switch this account with your trading account that is more aggressive. Dividends are basically stocks or equities that pay you dividends either monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Okay, and these are stocks, for example, AT&T. Okay, it's a company. Their ticker is T, and they usually stay around from $27 to $30. They're very stable. Usually dividend stocks are very stable. You know, when something happens, they either grow 10% up or they go down 10% based on what happens. But they're not like growth stocks that has the potential to 2x, 3x, 4x. But the pro is that they pay you dividends for only one share, which is awesome. There's people out there that have dividend portfolios. They have thousands of dividend stocks, and they get paid, you know, throughout the year just for owning that. That's an awesome type of passive income. So for example, AT&T, all right, $30.29, and they pay you around $2 per year in total, but they pay that out in quarterly, so it'll probably be 50 cents quarterly that you'll get, which is $2 total, right? Just for owning $30 worth of AT&T. So the idea of the dividends account, the portfolio, is basically invest in good dividend stocks. Do your research. What I suggest is Google companies that have been paying dividends for 15 years, 30 years, companies that have been increasing their dividends for 15 years, 30 years. And there are plenty of articles out there on this topic, okay? So do that. Look at those companies, and like I said, if you want to have this, you invest in monthly. All right, let's do here. I'm gonna do here $100, the same as the trading. Okay, so now we're at $450. Like I said, if you want to, if you're more conservative, you could just put $200 in dividends and then just take out the trading. Okay, or if you're more aggressive, you don't want to have dividends yet, you could put $200 and put it in trading. So like I said, you don't have to have all these accounts. I'm just going through them. But the key with dividend stocks is to create a snowball effect. So you keep buying dividend stocks, okay? They pay you dividends yearly. That money you use to buy more dividend stocks, and then that's how you grow. You know, the more dividend stocks, the more dividends you get, the more you reinvest that, and it's like a snowball effect, right? The more you have, the more it's gonna get bigger and bigger. So that's the whole point of dividend portfolios. Okay, so far we got 450. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot of accounts. If you're still watching, man, thank you. If you're still watching, you're awesome. Okay, thank you so much for watching my videos. But that's the 4 accounts. Now the last account here, obviously we got $50 left, and the last account might be a little surprising, but it's one that I personally have, and it is crypto. Okay, crypto, yes. It's something that a lot of people have very different opinions on. In my opinion, I don't even understand crypto that much. I know that it's a type of currency that is basically a digital currency, but I think it's here to stay. It's probably gonna grow bigger, and I'm gonna invest in it, right? That's the whole thing with crypto with me. And even if I don't understand it fully, I think it's gonna keep growing, especially with many new cryptos out there. I mean, just look at Bitcoin. I seen videos from 10 years ago saying, just invest $1 in Bitcoin. Like, just invest $100 in Bitcoin. Just do it. And then those people that did that 10 years ago are probably rich right now. So, crypto is gonna be the last account. We're probably gonna, from this 500, I'm gonna put in 50, and I'm gonna talk to you more about the crypto. So, to me, it's an account that I'm just gonna put in money, not too much. Like I said, 50 is a good amount, long term, and just hold it, right? You never know what can happen. Dogecoin might go to $1 a day, right? You want to invest in cryptos that you do your research in. Cardano, Ethereum. There's many crypto coins out there, but you want to do your own research and invest in it, right? And the app that I recommend is Voyager. I made a bunch of videos on it. If you use my code to sign up, you basically get $25 free of Bitcoin once you trade $100, which doesn't have a time limit. But yeah, Voyager is an amazing app because when you buy crypto on that app, it's commission free, which basically means they don't take a percentage from that money, which many apps and websites out there actually do. So yeah, definitely check it out. But do I recommend doing crypto? Yes, but not too crazy, right? You don't want to put your whole monthly investment in crypto, but definitely put a little bit in there, because nobody knows the future. I mean, just look at Bitcoin, look at Ethereum. These things are growing a lot, right? And it can definitely grow even more in the future. So these are my accounts here, my 5 accounts that I personally do. Now you can delete a lot of these accounts. Maybe you just want to do retirement, house, and dividends, right? Or maybe you just want to do 2. You might want to just do retirement and house, or you might want to do retirement, house, trading, and crypto. It all depends on your situation. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. It all depends on you. So like I said, take everything with what I said and do your own research. Find out what you want to do with these types of accounts that I just basically give you an idea on. Have the emergency fund. Figure out which accounts you want to put your money in. Obviously, you want to find out how much you want to invest monthly. Another thing is, you don't want to invest it all at once, right, in one day. You want to do it monthly, but do it in days. You don't want to do it all in one day. So that's it, guys. If you're still watching, you're awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. This is probably my most important video, and hopefully a lot of people can learn from it and take everything with what I said and do your own research. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I recommend Voyager, which is the crypto app. I also recommend Webull. And for the retirement and the house accounts, I recommend Fidelity. Or you can use Vanguard or some other big broker out there. But so the retirement, house account, Fidelity, I recommend that one. The trading one, I probably recommend Webull. Webull is awesome for options and active trading. The dividend ones, I'll probably recommend Fidelity, the same one as retirement house. And the crypto one, I'll definitely Voyager. So that's it, guys. If you're still watching, thank you guys. Leave a like, comment below what you guys want to see. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys if you're watching. Thank you if you're hearing on the podcast. Check out my podcast and check out my channel if you're on the podcast. So thank you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.